around 5,000 trained Roman soldiers marched north into the midst of Britain. They were one of the most feared fighting forces in the ancient world. And then, according to one of history's most stubborn mysteries, they were never clearly heard from again. The unit was called the Ninth Legion. In Latin, its name was Legio IX Hispana. It had a long and bloody history before it ever reached Britain. The legion fought in Spain, helped Julius Caesar in his wars, and crushed rebellions across the empire. By the time it crossed the cold sea to Britain, it had already earned a brutal reputation. Soldiers in the Ninth were veterans who had seen years of war. Britain in those years was a wild edge of the Roman world. The South had been brought under Roman control, but the North was a different story. Tribes there fought hard and knew the land far better than any invader. The Roman base for the Ninth was a fort at a place called Eboracum, which today is the city of York in England. The mystery begins in the early part of the 2nd century. Records show the Ninth Legion was stationed in Britain and active around the year 108. Their name is carved into a stone gateway at York from that time. After that, the trail goes cold. The Legion stops appearing in the kind of records that usually track Roman units across the empire. For a force of 5,000 men, that silence is strange. For a long time, a popular idea took hold. The story went that the Ninth marched north into what is now Scotland to fight the fierce tribes there, and that the whole legion was wiped out in a single disaster. No survivors, no clear battle record. Just a unit that walked into the fog and never walked back out. That dramatic version inspired books and films, and it is the one most people have heard. The truth, as historians dug deeper, turned out to be murkier. Some experts found clues that the Ninth was not destroyed in Britain at all. A few stamped tiles and inscriptions suggest part of the Legion may have moved to a base in the area of modern Netherlands around the same period. If that is correct, the Legion was simply transferred, the way units often were, and the dramatic last stand never happened. But that answer raises its own problems. After those scattered clues in Europe, the Ninth still seems to disappear from the records for good. Most Roman legions left a long paper trail of stamps, coins, tombstones, and mentions in official lists. The Ninth just fades out. Whatever happened, the unit either was destroyed somewhere else, was broken up, or lost so many men that its name was retired in shame. That last point matters. The Romans were proud of their legions, but they could also erase one. If a legion was beaten badly or disgraced, the Roman habit was to strike its name from honor and never speak of it as a working unit again. Some historians think this is the real key to the Ninth. It may not have vanished in a fog of mystery. It may have been quietly buried by an empire that did not want to remember a defeat. So where might that defeat have happened? One idea points back to Britain and the northern tribes after all. Another points to a later war in the east, where Rome fought hard campaigns and lost soldiers by the thousand. A third idea points to a revolt in a Roman province where whole units were chewed up. Without a clear record, each idea rests on a handful of clues and a lot of careful guessing. What makes the Ninth so fascinating is the size of the hole it left. This was not one missing soldier or a small patrol. This was 5,000 men, with banners and gear and a name known across the empire, who slipped out of the historical record almost completely. Armies that large usually leave wreckage, graves, and stories. The Ninth left almost nothing anyone can point to with certainty. Modern researchers keep chasing the answer. Every so often a new inscription turns up in a field or a museum drawer, and people wonder if it will finally close the case. So far, each new clue tends to deepen the puzzle rather than solve it. The Legion seems to slip away again just as historians think they have it cornered. The honest answer is that nobody knows for sure what became of the Ninth Legion. The wiped out in Scotland story is probably too neat to be true. The transferred to Europe story explains some clues but not the final silence. The disgraced and erased story fits Roman habits but leaves no proof. All three could even be partly right, with the legion moving, fighting, and finally falling somewhere the records do not reach. To understand the loss, it helps to picture what a legion actually was. A Roman legion was not just a crowd of soldiers, it was a small, moving city. It had its own engineers, doctors, cooks, and craftsmen alongside the fighting men. The soldiers built roads and forts, dug ditches, and trained without end. Joining a legion was a long commitment, often around 25 years, and the men in it became a tight brotherhood that lived and bled together. At the heart of each legion was its eagle standard. This was a golden eagle on a pole, carried into battle as the soul of the unit. Losing the eagle to an enemy was the deepest shame a legion could suffer, and soldiers would fight to the death to protect it. So part of the mystery of the Ninth is whether its eagle was lost, because such a loss would have been recorded with horror and remembered for generations. The tribes the Ninth may have faced were no easy target. The peoples of northern Britain knew their cold, hilly land far better than any Roman. They used hit-and-run attacks, melting into the mist before the heavy Roman lines could form up. A legion built to fight in open battle could struggle badly against an enemy that refused to stand still and fight fair. That kind of war chewed up even the best troops over time. Modern historians work like detectives on this case. They study worn inscriptions, stamps pressed into bricks and tiles, and the few official records that survive. By matching a unit's name across different places and dates, they try to trace its path. The trouble with the Ninth is that the clues thin out and then stop, leaving a gap that no amount of careful study has fully closed. The legend also took on a life of its own, far beyond the history books. The image of a lost legion marching into the fog inspired novels and films that fixed the dramatic version in the public mind. That story endures because it taps into a real fear, the idea of a strong group of people simply swallowed by a wild land. Even if the truth is more tangled, the legend keeps the Ninth alive in a way few other Roman units have managed. 5,000 soldiers marched under the banner of the Ninth. Their name was carved in stone at York, and then, somewhere across the empire, it stopped being written at all. If you love a real mystery from the ancient world, subscribe to The Vault and ring the bell. Comment with your own theory on the Ninth Legion, and watch the next story unfold.